Hey guys, Churchy here. Welcome to another episode of Wild Skyrim, the modding series about turning Skyrim into a third-person archery/survival game set in a wild and untamed Skyrim. Today I'll be showing you the mods I used to make the trees, grass, ground, rocks, mountains and water look more wild and detailed than vanilla Skyrim. You can find links in the description. Let's get started. The first thing I wanted to do was make the ground textures look more detailed. I used a few mods to do this. The first mod I used was Skyrim 2017 textures by Pfuscher. I used the landscape and road textures. These textures fit the look I was aiming for perfectly and added a lot of detail to the ground textures. Next I installed Nordic Snow by AceeQ. I liked the look of this snow and I thought it was a subtle improvement over vanilla, but still looked close to the original snow. To finish up improving ground textures, I used Blended Roads by that name I'm not going to try and pronounce. I'll just call them Tag. But anyway, I used Blended Roads by them to make the road textures just blend much more naturally with their surroundings. Now that I had the ground textures looking good, I wanted to make the rocks and mountains look more natural and detailed. The first mod I used to do this was Authentic Mountains and Rocks by MystiriousDawn. I really like how the rocks and mountains look when using this mod, especially in the forest regions. To add a bit more variety to the rocks, I installed Skyrim 3D Rocks by mathy. It overwrites some of the small and medium rocks and it blended quite nicely with the mods I'd already installed. And now that I had the ground, the rocks and the mountains looking how I wanted, it was time to add some ground cover and undergrowth into the mix. For now, I'm using Skyrim Flora Overhaul Grass Only by Vurt to do this. It looks very untamed and adds a lot of variety to the plant life sprouting from the ground. I'm hoping to eventually successfully combine it with the Skyrim 3D Landscapes mod by mathy, just to add even more variety. Now it was time for a very important part of this process. It was time to modify the trees. I think this is a really important part just because there are so many trees around Skyrim. But anyway, I used a trio of mods that combined incredibly well to make Skyrim's trees sort of stick to a vanilla feel, but look incredible. First I installed Realistic Aspen Trees by AceeQ. Pretty self-explanatory, it makes the aspen trees in the forests around Riften look more realistic. I particularly like the variety it adds to the colour of the leaves. Next I installed Simply Bigger Trees by fadingsignal. It's such a simple concept, but it just adds so much to the game. It makes the trees around Skyrim bigger, and by doing so, it just makes the forests feel much more wild and realistic. And while using this mod, I just find it a lot easier to get lost in the nature that's around you. To improve the detail on the trees, especially when observing them up close, I installed HQ Tree Bark by some random guy 83. This mod did a great job at adding detail to the bark textures and helps me complete the look and feel I was trying to achieve. The last aspect of the landscape I wanted to improve was the water. I installed Realistic Water 2 by AceeQ, TechAngel85 and Sparrow Prince. I find it to be a subtle but effective change and it adds a nice amount of detail to the water. Before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to mention that there were some other great mods I tried and enjoyed while going through the process of changing Skyrim's landscape, and there were also mods that I wanted to use but couldn't get working with some of the other mods I was already using. And there were also mods that were great but just didn't fit the look I was aiming for this particular modding series. I'm just mentioning this because I think a large part of the fun of modding Skyrim comes from experimenting with and combining mods to get the perfect look or feel that you're trying to achieve. And I would just encourage anyone watching this video to do that. Just experiment. Anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what landscape mods you like to use down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a good day or night, whichever it may be, and I'll see you in the next video.